the knock on the door was incredible. It exceeded all my expectations, and I'm not a type of person that like really thinks about stuff that's out of my control a whole lot. But when it happened, my wife did an amazing job because she was the only one outside of the Hall of Fame that knew when it was coming, and so it was her job to make sure I was there and I had all my clothes on, which it's kind of funny because she told me we were going to go out to dinner with the neighbors, which we ended up doing later. It was a Friday afternoon after the kids got home from school, and said, we need to have a family meeting about something with the kids. So typically that means, okay, mom's got to get dad here to yell at you guys because they're not listening to me anymore. And so I was ready and getting ready, so I just had my underwear on and my shirt because we were getting ready to go out to dinner. And she told me, honey, go put some pants on. And I'm like, we can talk to the kids, like everything's fine, like it's just us. She said, just go do it right now. I'm like, it'll take 5 seconds. As soon as we're done here, I'll go get dressed and we can leave. She said, just go do it. Good husband, I know, just listen to mom when she's insistent on something. So I'm like, okay, great. So got dressed, came back downstairs, and we started talking about the distraction. And I went to go make myself a drink. It's like, we're gonna go out with friends. I'm gonna go pour myself a little drink. And so I started walking around the corner. She goes, no, not right now. This is important. Because she was trying to get me away from the door because she didn't want me to see all the people walking up because it would ruin the knock, of course. And then the next thing my son says as he's like hopping like a jackrabbit is, Dad, we made it, we made it. And it took me at least 5 seconds, which felt like an eternity, but it probably only was 5 seconds, to realize what he was telling me, because this happened like 2 weeks before tonight. And I wasn't expecting any sort of announcement, knock on the door or anything until right before the Super Bowl, because nobody can keep a secret for 2 weeks these days. And sure enough, after about 5 seconds, it really sunk in as my kids were just going ballistic. Like, who was at the door? So I kind of walked around the corner, and sure enough, there's big Walter Jones standing there with his gold jacket and about 15 to 20 people with cameras and microphones. And so I opened the door, and there Walter is standing there, and he was my idol. So like, I felt like I was a little bit verklempt. I was in the presence of my idol, the greatness, Walter Jones. And I walked outside, and he just said to me, welcome home. And like, gave me a huge hug. I started crying. And I was sure I wasn't going to be emotional, but it just caught me so much off guard in the way they did it, with having Walt do it and then having my son be able to tell me. It was just so much more special than I could have possibly drawn it up. And kudos to my wife for being good at keeping a secret.